In 1997, Final Fantasy VII was released on PlayStation. The last installment of the series, to our knowledge, was Final Fantasy III on Super Nintendo in 1994. So what happened to 4, 5, and 6, and why were we on 7 all of a sudden? Turns out that we'd been neglected a Final Fantasy game, or 3. 7 years after its initial release, the world outside of Japan would finally get an official release on PlayStation of Final Fantasy V. According to an interview with Ted Woolsey, an American translator for Square, Final Fantasy V was, quote, just not accessible enough to the average gamer, which doesn't really say much or seem like a valid enough reason to not release a game that was part of my all-time favorite series. Turns out what he was talking about was the in-depth job system in Final Fantasy V, the most distinguishing feature of the game. You start off as Bartz with his faithful chocobo friend Boko, investigating a meteorite landing nearby, running into Rina and Goluf once you arrive. Rina is looking for her father, the king, who went to check on the wind crystal. On your way there, you pick up a pirate, Ferris, who decides to join your quest. Eventually, the wind crystal shatters into pieces, and this is where the game actually gets going. So now it's your job to check out the remaining water, fire, and earth crystals. The crystal shards grant your adventurers the ability to choose different jobs to take on and learn new abilities. This is the highlight of Final Fantasy V, and a feature that Woolsey thought would only appeal to experienced gamers and die-hard fans. Each job grants unique skills, and now in addition to XP, you'll also receive ability points to earn job levels which give you even more abilities to customize your characters. These abilities can be used in combination with other jobs, so you can have a knight that can cast white magic or a black mage that can steal, and so forth. This wasn't the first Final Fantasy game to use this type of gameplay. Final Fantasy III also featured a similar job system. And as we know now, it was certainly not the last time we'd see this feature. Most notably Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy X2, and both MMOs Final Fantasy XI and XIV. I enjoy the system. It offers a lot of customization and something else to work toward instead of just levels. My only complaint to the system is, at least at first, it's a bit of a grind to learn abilities. Most battles will only give you one ability point, and some abilities will cost 50 to 100 points to learn. Bit of trivia, this was the first appearance of some common Final Fantasy jobs, like Blue Mage, Time Mage, and Mime. The job system is quite extensive. You can tell they put quite a bit of effort into it, and this is why it really stands out, and also why not much else really does in Final Fantasy V. The plot eventually unfolds a bit more, but it's a bit predictable and cliché at times. Graphics are decent, but seem to be a bit reminiscent of Final Fantasy IV. I do like that there are different sprites for each character for each job, but again, that almost adds more to the job system. Sound is good, it's hard to go wrong with Nobuo Uematsu, but none of the tracks really stand out as great, especially compared to other Final Fantasy games. So I'm reviewing the PlayStation version because, well, A, it's the version I own, and B, its historical significance in its release. But you can also get FF5 on Game Boy Advance, which features additional jobs, a new dungeon, optional boss, and a new English translation. The last reason is probably why it's said by some that the GBA version is the best one out there. So if you're really interested in finding out what we missed all those years ago, pick up a copy of Final Fantasy V, whether on PlayStation or Game Boy Advance, and it's been announced that PlayStation will be re-releasing this title as a PS1 classic.